day, good night. Welcome back, CFR Network, CFR Sports. I am very happy to have this special guest back with me again. The Dragon. How art thou, sir?
Oh man, it's been wild. It's been a wild couple of weeks lately. We're in the middle of doing like 11 shows in 10 weeks.
Oof.
And I live in Singapore, so we're going to Bangkok. The iconic Lumpinee Stadium is our studio. It's wild, the new one. It's this little tiny stadium out in the near the airport, DMK Airport in
Yes.
Bangkok, Thailand. And it's the most surreal thing to walk into Lumpini Stadium and call fights. It's
Mm.
wild, bro. It's wild, Noble. Like it's every time I do it, there's like this nostalgia from like the 1990s and watching Kickboxer and like getting a taste of Muay Thai and hearing about this magical place called Lumpini Stadium where the best of the
Mm.
best competed. And it's wild to walk in there and like just walk in there casually. I got my tea, I've got my eggs, and I'm just calling fights with my buddies. It's a lot of fun and it's an honor.
Definitely, and it comes across. It comes across on the camera. The outside of the commentary, which I would say your new partner is absolutely excellent, and he's knocking it out of the park every single show. Um, we've got excellent fights. There are, I would say, 80% of the fights are out of this world. There are a few which I think maybe the bright lights have kind of got to them and their performances hasn't been the best, but generally it's finishes. We have, I would say, what, 30% of fights that go to the decision? Like it's a high turnover, fast pace.
It's different. If you're questionable about the matches and like the quality of it, it's the MMA, man. The MMA is still in the beginning stages in Thailand, and I think it's growing. We've got some big gyms out there taking an interest in it, and it's the MMA that's going to see. You're going to watch it grow by leaps and bounds every single month, every single show. It's going to get better and better. But the Muay Thai, and maybe you don't know who these guys are. But the stories that some of these guys walk in with hundreds and hundreds of fights in the stadiums all around Thailand, crafting this art of violence.
Mm.
And the way that they put these things together, it's just incredible. The fight cards that we've got, like Duong Song Pong taking on Batman in the
Yeah,
main event of last night's fight was just wild to see these two throw hands at each other like this with
yeah,
little gloves. You've never seen striking like this because of the danger of the little gloves. You get hit with a big pillow, like a
yeah,
big 8 ounce or a 10 ounce pillow, it
mm,
bounces off your face, you're fine. You
yeah.
get cracked with 4 ounce gloves, and your entire world changes. You start to rethink stuff. You were like, oh man, this is terrible. And to have these guys throw the way that they do, it looks like some kind of superhero
Mm.
engaging in this battle of head movement. And then they mix in the elbows, and it's the art of eight limbs
Yeah.
is truly remarkable to watch this close up front, small gloves, one rules. It's changing
Yes.
the game, bro.
And the another good thing that I have to bring forth is the referees. There's no waiting for the tentative fighters and the feeling out. Of course, there's a feeling out process, but we're not going to hang about. It's come on, fight. And if we have to push you too many times, I'm getting that yellow card out, and that's a financial penalty upon the fighter. So it's
Yeah,
encouraging them to do what they've signed contracts. The bout agreement has been done. So we're here to win ultimately each opponent, and most importantly to entertain the crowd and the viewers at home. So that is an
100%.
excellent thing that's been done.
100%. And a lot of these guys, they talk to me before the fights and they're like, dude, that bonus, if you come in that ring and give me a bonus, you're going to change my life. And I'm just like, whew, it's a lot of pressure, man. Like, that's a lot.
Well,
That's a lot on the shoulders, dog. But, like, it's it's life changing for these guys to go out there and put on a huge performance. And some of them are only like 20 fights into their career. They're still young.
Mm,
Like some of the biggest stars that I've seen, like backstage at the little Hall of Fame area, the museum that they got backstage at Lumpinee, are some of the young kids, that are coming out there and taking pictures with pop stars, and giant
yes.
media moguls are in attendance. It's crazy, bro. Like we're doing something special over there. Like we're the highest rated show on Friday nights, and Friday nights are supposed to be like soap operas. Huge.
Yeah.
Everybody sits at home and watches soap operas in Thailand. But now, One Friday Fights is taking over the airways, and you know, we're bringing something fun to the game.
100%. I totally agree. And as I've said pre-recording wise, it's really enhanced the immersion of one championship for the casuals because with the big fights that are on the one primes and the numbered events, those bring a lot of eyes when like the big MMA sort of podcasters whatnot will sort of make, oh, so and so is fighting, Christian Lee's fighting, or this person's fighting. But now with this constant every week we've got eight limbs. We've got the kickboxing, which again is historical. I didn't actually know that kickboxing wasn't necessarily done at Lumpinee Stadium. Um, then MMA also mixed into it as well. It really not forces, but it gives the casual, the hardcore, an option to view something special, as you say, some very, very entertaining. And let's look at the overall package. We don't have advertisements for fast food restaurants in between the fights. We either have highlights of historical fights, we're either advertising the merchandise, or we're putting up that logo. It's seamless. It's not, oh God, this advertisement again. How many times are they going to put this advertisement on? As I say, it drives you and pulls you. Like I'm watching this still. I'm not going to fast forward. I don't need to fast forward. I want to see these highlight knockout reels and that kind of stuff. It's one is doing a very, very, very good job, as I've always been saying, and it's going from step to step, from level to level, and I really see a big challenge for me, in my opinion. You've got UFC, and very closely following is one championship. And then you've got the fight between PFL and Bellator. Others may say it's PFL who's second in command and then maybe one championship. But when you're honest about it and you look, um, no. One is really making an impact. The difficulty is obviously is because of the variety of fighters, especially from Asia. The names, it's I struggle sometimes unless I'm
You
hearing.
struggle. What? You struggle? Come on, I have to say these names, bro. These names they challenge my American pronunciation. I'm
Yes.
not like Americans aren't historically good at like saying foreign words. So man, some of these Thai guys, these Russians,
Russians,
they've
yeah.
got these names that are just they're complex, and I do my best. Sometimes I
Mm,
get excited and I fumble, but
yeah.
man, they're 100%. We have to learn, like, and then you get names like Supergirl and Super Bond, and
Yes.
Batman. Like
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot more easily association. Like you're going to be able to associate them with
Mhm.
different words. So we've got some good names coming up, but the challenges are always going to be there, and it's going to push us, foreigners, to learn another language.
Yes. Totally. And for the switched on connoisseurs of this wonderful sports,
Yeah,
let's encapsulate it. That's what we enjoy, the challenge. Not just sitting at home eating the hot dogs or whatever, and oh, that's good. That was an excellent submission or knockout. We want to understand, like, where does this person come from? What drives them to excellence? What sort of barriers to success have they had to overcome and achieve? It's the backstory. It's not just the
okay,
end goal. It's everything that
okay.
goes in between.
That's what you want to know. That's what you want to know. I'll try to
Yeah.
work. I'll try to get that out to you, man. You know, I'll try to get that out to you. A lot of our researchers are just me and Gianni. you know.
Yeah.
So we're the ones that have to dig into these guys' backstories and try to find, you know, out details about them. And as you get to see them fight, I'll get
Hmm.
to research them and know about them. Like, you know, you see Thai guys in the ring like Nongo. I know his story. I've trained with him. You know, like I've learned from him. I've filmed with him. Like our history goes back years, you know. But some of the new cats, I don't have that storytelling ability yet. So as you get to see him fight, I'll get to know them, and we're gonna find out more about them together. So that's pretty much the idea, and that's my goal, right? Is to
Yeah.
I'm the conduit between this athlete who doesn't speak your language and the viewer, the fan at home. So the better I do my job, and that's kind of why I do the social media thing, is you know it gives you an idea on who this cat is. So
Yes.
it's fun.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And I'm looking forward to sort of jumping on the train for this journey because you've got a lot of especially with the one fights. There's fighters like, who is this person? And they come in and just they're little tornadoes. They're just destroyers, and it's like I want to see that person fight next week. I know these guys have a very quick sort of turnaround, so how quickly can we get this person back into fight? Because that was an excellent performance.
Cool. That's the idea, right? It's to build these guys into stars. Like Rambutan Man was just on the last card we had, and he was so entertaining. Yeah, he came out
Mm.
in the big
Yes.
afro. He came out with his character in the story, and his name is a challenge, Chow Nyong, and it means Rambutan Man in Thai, and it's a weird pronunciation for me to make, you know, and it doesn't come off naturally. So that's a huge challenge. But to tell his story, and we had this one guy, Sexon, who's had
Oh,
hundreds on hundreds of wars, you know, and then you know to get in there and give him not just 10, you know, not just 350,000 baht, right, not just $10,000, but you know it's $50,000 that's going to change his life, and it's going to, you know, generations of his could be
yeah,
impacted with the build of a house or whatever
yeah.
it's going to happen for him. So it's just it's an honor, man, like to be the storyteller for these guys.
Mm. What was the reason why we came away from doing the dollar announcements to then now the last two being bahts?
Have you ever seen me give somebody like $10,000 and they go like this?
They can't associate to what it actually, yeah, I understand.
Dude, I told Sexton, dude, I'm giving you 50,000, my whole thing, like my whole thing, right? And he goes, and he had to wait, you know, it's so weird. So if I go 350,000 baht, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, times five, right? In the millions, you know, a lot of people don't know what baht is, right? So you coming from the UK and maybe some of your friends have never been to Thailand, right? And they don't know how much a baht is, right? And you're like, can I get that out of an ATM in a withdrawal, or is that significant money that I could buy a house with? You don't know the difference, you know.
Hmm.
I go to Indonesia and I take out 350,000 baht, and that's like for a meal. You know, you do that in Thailand, it's a house, you know, so there's a difference. So you're right, people do know the dollar, but to them, it's more impactful. And you, as an
Yeah.
educated viewer, and most one viewers are educated viewers, they'll at
Yes.
least pop up their phone and go, oh,
What's the
wow, that's a
conversion?
lot, right? That's a lot. So
Yes. Totally agree. And to see as you say, the impact it has when they know that they've come out, they've done their best, all the hardest work was get into the actual fight. They've done the fight and they've visualized and manifested physically what they aimed to do. And then you're coming in, few questions here, a few questions there. What about that bonus chat tree? He loves it. We're gonna reward you. So it's those real things, man. The fights are wonderful, but it's everything that comes along with it. It's the reward, and it's not people. I mean, obviously everyone wants the bonus and stuff, for a good fight, a good performance and stuff, but it's a lot more, I would say, genuine. The reactions, the reasons why they're kind of getting the bonuses. Um, yeah. it was really, really impactful. And especially as you say, in regards to the exchange rate, I didn't appreciate the differences between the two bahts in two different countries. Like, wow, that's hyperinflation and all the rest of the things, but that's
Yeah,
another subject.
that's a different podcast.
Exactly, exactly. So, we have coming up very soon, and this is at Lumpinee Stadium as well. The rematch between Lineker and Andrade.
My boy Andrade was just there, right? Like he was just at Lumpini Stadium, so I got to see
Yes.
him. I got to watch him move around the ring. He's pumped, you know. He's ready to ready for a repeat performance. I haven't got to chat or see Lineker yet, but I know Lineker is ready for a revenge moment. So these
Mhm.
guys are going to come out, guns firing. You know, I can't wait for this one. This one's going to be in a small ring. You know, there's no place to go. You can
Yeah,
trap somebody in a corner. I
yeah.
don't think, you know, maybe there could be a takedown if somebody gets wobbled and they see an opening, but I think
Hmm.
these two are going to use the most of that surface, you know, of the arena and inside
Totally.
that ring, and they're going to go to war because the Lumpini ring is small. It's not a big ring, right? That has a lot of movement. They might enlarge it, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Lumpini is very intimate. It's
Okay.
very, you know, you can look up and see everybody. You know, I can see everybody inside the stadium, like, and people can watch me be all crazy and weird and stuff. You know, so we're looking forward to. It's going to be and it's in walking distance from the hotel. It's going to be. I got some fun stuff planned too. I got
It's
some
gonna
fun
be
stuff planned.
it's gonna be entertaining as a total strike fest. It was. Um, Andrade was definitely winning, but Lineker was definitely not out the game. But he was getting beaten. If he didn't do that second groin strike and destroy that cop, I think we would have had a changing of the guard at that point if Lineker couldn't have pulled something out of his bag of tricks.
Definitely, I think it was you know, just bad luck for
Yeah.
both guys. But Andrade was on. You know, he everything he threw was accurate and precise, and everything he told me he was going to do, he was doing. You know, that kid he's firing on all cylinders right now. He's riding a lot of momentum, and Lineker was too
Mm,
before all this. You know, and I
yeah.
honestly I saw the best Andrade, flat out. I don't know if I saw the best Lineker. You know, I don't know if I saw the best version of him.
Hmm.
That's walking people down. That's aggressive. I don't know if he got hit and something changed or something was wrong beforehand, but you know that wasn't the Lineker that you're used to seeing.
Mm.
You know, and then the cup shot, and it was just a weird whole night. You know, so uh, that fight is going to be very interesting to see if Lineker can shut down this sniper that
Yes.
that Andrade seems to bring into the circle or the ring with him. So, um, you know, I think it's going to be a fun fight either way.
And Andrade was very durable because he took some heavy, heavy shots. It's
You know,
you
like
know,
he walked through him.
yeah,
He walked through him.
exactly. And you know
You
what?
know,
I
his
think it's due. I think age. There is a bit of an age difference. I
hundred
think it's just.
hundred, you know, 100%. He's they're at different points in their career, man. You know,
Mhm.
that fire extinguishes from everybody. I don't think it's gone from Lineker, but like Andrade had his head up high in the air. He was like walking him down and being aggressive, and I was like, "Whew, okay, okay, he's the real deal." Everything he said, man, he's made happen
Yeah.
inside. So he's dangerous, bro.
And these fighters, these athletes, they're an inspiration to other fighters, and not just other fighters, but just everyday Mo's who sit at a desk all day just tapping on a computer. These people really inspire, maybe not to physically go out and train and whatnot, but they inspire them in their actions. Like, as you say, look, he was confident, he was walking him down, he said what he was going to do, and he executed it. Unfortunately, the incident happens and we're running it back. I'm inspired by that performance. I'm now going to work even harder at my job, or translate that however it filters down to each individual. But it's a really I didn't. I'm sure I mentioned this on the last time we spoke. I couldn't get over, and it's more. I've seen it a lot more within one. When I first started to casually sort of watch it, the embrace after the fight, the respect that's shown, the on the getting on the knees and I, am like, you guys have just been in there punching, kicking, drawing blood, and all kind of stuff, concussing each other, and you're gonna hug after. Like, I couldn't like process it, but the more and more I've seen it and interviewed fighters, I get it. I was kind of used to more of the US kind of smack talking, and it's a fight, obviously, but it's because the person hates the other person kind of thing. So there's some personal thing. But no, this is just competition. This is the Bushido way. This is the art. This is what this is all about. If you want to have a
Yeah.
straightener, as we say in the UK, you have the straightener. Whoever loses, they lose, and you've had enough. Okay, I've won. Oh, let's part ways now. That's enough. It's the honor of an integrity of what the true aspect of fighting is.
Good to hear, bro. I'm glad that that's the message that's getting out there. Rod Tang's a perfect example of that. Like he goes in there and tries to detach your head from your body, and afterwards he will, thank you for the opportunity to compete. So it's each moment is each fight is an opportunity to create like a moment in history.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the inspirational part. Is that, and I'm glad that as a viewer and as a fan, that's the impression that you take away. So that's great.
100%. Now I know obviously you're not the CEO of One Championship, but we did have an event New Year's Eve, Bellator and Rising.
Yeah.
Excellent event. Obviously not as exciting in regards to the finishing, especially the prelim card was out of this world. Once it got to the
Okay.
main big names, they were fighting a little cautious. I don't think anyone necessarily wanted to lose, kind of thing. But overall, it was an excellent event. Questions are always flying, and I've always had this in my head. Why are One Championship doing co-promoted events? Is this something that's been spoke of? Is this an idea, or is this something there's no way? Why would we don't need to necessarily do this kind of thing?
I don't think it's a question of we don't need to. I don't know if other promotions want to.
Mm.
You know, it's a bad idea to come fight one, guys. Like UFC fighters come here all the time and get wrecked. It's
Yes.
not good for their brand. It's not good for their image. I'm sure we would welcome, Ryzen or Bellator or PFL if somebody had the
Kahunas.
courage to put their name on the line and try to challenge our guys. But also the pound difference thing, like we would have to do like a weight thing, like 145 or against 145 or
Yeah.
180, because like we're higher up because of hydration.
Yes.
And would they be able to cut weight? Would they have to follow our rules? I would love to see what happens if guys like take it for example, that Josh Emmett,
Oh,
your Yair Rodriguez fight that just happened.
yeah.
Josh Emmett looked so sucked out, like I would love to see him fight like hydrated,
Yes.
because and then to get hit in the head like that with a dehydrated thing, it's like it's those are the kinds of problems that can end fighters' careers a lot earlier. Like it's dangerous. So they would have to probably adopt to our rules, which I think would be a great challenge for. I've met Scott Coker. Come on, Scott, bring it, let's go. You want to step up and bang with the big boys. He's
Yes.
got he's had kickboxing too. Bellator's had striking arts.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for open promotion fights, and we've got all the sports, so bring it. If you other organizations want to fight, then I'm sure One Championship is down. But there's obviously decisions that are above my pay grade,
Of course.
so I can just be the guy that talks a lot, you know.
Yes. But it makes sense
That's all.
as you say, I mean you hold all of the combat sports elements. It's not just mixed martial arts. We're doing everything.
There's one more to go. There's one more sport I want to see inside one championship. I want all five. All five. We got MMA. You love the MMA. I know you like that, right?
Yes.
We got that Muay Thai. Muay Thai is changing the game.
Yes.
Kickboxing. Woo,
Mhm.
kickboxing, the fastest sport on 2 feet. Then we added submission grappling, right? Where
Yeah.
we get to see Danielle Kelly and
Yeah.
Mikey Musumeci and these wizards on the ground do their thing. There's one more. There's one more striking sport, combat sport we need, and that is the sweet science,
Boxing.
boxing.
Yeah.
I want to see some hands thrown inside. We did one a long time ago
Once,
in
a
Bangkok.
very long time. Yeah.